Hi everyone, I'm Martha and I'm here today to talk to you about this lovely instrument called the harp. Obviously the harp is in the strings family as it has so many strings. There are lots of different types of harps. This is a pedal harp, which is the biggest of all the harps, and it has these pedals along the bottom which change the strings to be different tones up here, like this. So that was all the same string I was playing there, see? So if you go like that, you can hear the difference if you wiggle the pedal. So on a pedal harp there are 47 strings, and then you've also got a lever harp, which usually has about 34 strings. You can have a Paraguayan harp, which is about the same, and then you can have a lap harp, which is kind of like a lever harp, just really small, which I think has maybe about 22 strings usually. And then you can have the triple harp, which actually, as you can see here, my harp has one layer of strings. So instead of just having one layer of strings, it then has 3 layers of strings. So it's kind of like a piano. So on both outsides here, you would have all the white notes of the piano, and on the inside of the strings, you would have like all the black notes of the piano. So then if you want to play a sharp or a flat, you have to put your fingers inside to play the middle strings. And then the harp has developed even more after that, and we now have electric harps as well, which are really cool. So you can have them a lever harp and pedal harps, and basically they have a little pickup at the bottom of each string there to make it electric, and then you can play it with loop pedals, and then you can make these really incredible sounds with it there. So originally the harp came from having a bow and arrow, I suppose, and they would just, pluck the string that was in the bow and arrow to get the sound there, and then it just developed gradually over time. Sebastian Hérode was the guy in France who kind of created the concept of the pedal harp having the pedals at the bottom to change it. So yeah, I suppose the lever harps originated in like the Celtic countries, so like Wales and Ireland and Scotland. The strings that we have on the harp, these low ones right down here, they are made out of wire, so they've got wire wrapped around them like in a spiral like that, and they've got something inside of them too. But these strings up here are made out of gut, and yes, they're made out of like real gut. And then the ones right up here, the really thin ones, these are like synthetic gut or nylon, but then you can also get nylon strings for all of your, instead of the gut strings as well, if the gut really disturbs you, I suppose. But that all creates a really different sounds. The different harps have different sounds depending on the types of strings and then the types of wood as well. So the harp is a very versatile instrument, and it can play lots of different genres of music, and it's obviously most famous for playing Welsh music, as it is the national instrument of Wales. So I'm going to play a piece called Tŷ Coch Caerdydd. So the harp is also famous for the other music in the Celtic countries as well. So this is a bit from Lord of the Dance, which is Irish. And here's a little bit of Scottish music, Over the Sea to Sky. So this is a bit of Milonga Panorama by Alfredo Rolando Ortiz, who is a harpist in the Paraguayan harp tradition. So this piece is to demonstrate how the harp can play jazz, and this is a really new kind of venture for the harp in like the last 10 years. And yeah, so it's a really new thing for the harp to be doing loads of jazz, and it's really cool. And this composer called Deborah Henson Conant is this amazing harpist. You should definitely go look her up. And she's just very eccentric when she plays, and I love her pieces. So this is New Blues. Also join in with big jazz bands as well, and also play along to the jazz standards. So here's Putting on the Ritz, and I suppose just imagine there's a big band playing around me. So obviously the pedal harp is very famous for playing classical music, either as a solo or in big orchestras. So this is some of Nocturne by Glinka. So the harp is obviously, as you can tell by that, a very adaptable instrument. It can play lots of different music in lots of different situations. So it can play in jazz bands, orchestras, duets. Flute and harp is a really common duet for a harp. It can also accompany singers as well. So it can do lots and lots of different things. You can adapt so much music for the harp. The music for the harp is very similar to piano music. So, as you can see, there's a treble line and a bass line. So it's like piano music. So over the years, obviously there have been so many famous harpists. In Wales, I suppose the most famous harpist would be the royal harpist, appointed by the Prince of Wales. So that started in 1871 when John Thomas, a very famous harpist and arranger and composer for the harp, he was the first royal harpist in 1871. It then got revived again in the year 2000, and Catherine Finch was then the royal harpist then, and now the current royal harpist is Alice Hughes, and she got appointed in 2019. There are also so many other famous harpists around now. So there's Eleanor Turner, who does everything from classical to her electric harp to just everything really. So she's a really great person to look up. Amanda Whiting does loads of jazz music, and so does Tara Minton. Deborah Henson Conant, her performances on harp are spectacular. So if you see her performances, I think lots of them are on YouTube, so if you look at them, they are fantastic performances of like classical and electric harp with like all her own compositions just mixed into a massive performance. It's amazing. Robin Hugh Bowen is a really famous triple harpist. Harriet Eris is a very famous Welsh harpist. Adriano Sanguinetto is a famous Italian harpist. Dorothy Ashby is the kind of original, really good at jazz harp music. There's so many as well, so that's only a few of them that are my favourite, but there are so many out there who do so many amazing things with the harp, and it is such a great instrument, so yeah. And I suppose the most famous thing a harp can do is a lovely glissando like this.